evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Cantemir and Căușeni in Moldova. Now let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Moldova is in Europe. If you've never heard of Moldova, that might be a surprising fact. Moldova is the least visited country in Europe. You can see it is wedged here between Romania and Ukraine, which is actually perfect because both of our districts tonight border Romania and Ukraine. So that's very apt, isn't it? So we are in Eastern Europe here. Moldova is landlocked. And the people here, technically they speak Moldovan, but Moldovan, from what I understand, is pretty much just Romanian. Maybe with some accent variations here and there, but from what I understand, it's pretty much just Romanian. So, let's talk about the geography of these areas. Cantemir district, which we're going back a little bit in my alphabetical order because I forgot Cantemir district. Thank you so much to the person who pointed that out. Anytime you think I might have forgotten a place in the world, because if you don't know, I'm going in alphabetical order around the world, every region of the world in alphabetical order. Please, if you think I forgot one, ask me, let me know. Chances are it's like, oh no, well technically it's called like everyone thought I forgot Budapest, but Budapest is technically called City of Budapest or Capital City of Budapest. So it goes under C instead of B. But there's always a chance that I straight up forgot it. So in January, we'll be going over a bunch of places in Romania, a place in Slovenia. There'll be lots of this corner of Europe in about a month. So look forward to that. Technically, Reykjavik is called Capital District. So I gotta go back to Iceland. So yeah, please, if you think I forgot a place, let me know. Because there's a very good chance I did, because I made this list myself. It's full of mistakes. Not to mention Norway and Burundi changed their districts, so now I have to go back to Norway and Burundi. But anyway, always let me know if your countries changed the names of their regions, so I can fix it in my big Google Doc. But let's talk about Moldova. So Cantemir district, I think I was saying, like, I love that name. Cantemir sounds like a fantasy kingdom. It sounds mythical. The ancient hills of Cantemir. It sounds like Game of Thrones or something like that. But as you can see, it is pretty much farmland. We have that beautiful patchwork of farms all across, except for this foresty area here. Why don't we take a look at it? There we go. Yeah. This place is very whimsical too. Little fairy forest here. How pretty. Beautiful autumn leaves. Big tall trees. Ooh. Weird lens they took for that photo. You can ride your bikes out here in the woods. In the little fairy woods. Just be careful of the fairies. Don't give them your name and all of that. Don't trust them. Oh, he's going to ride his motorbike. Hope it's not too loud. Hope it doesn't upset the little forest critters. He's having a good time. It's worth it. They brought their ATV, it looks like. I hope they brought their helmets too. But yeah, it is farmland. It's a bit hilly, I read, but nothing too extreme, you know? We are in like the foothills of the Caucasus, which are just over here, not too terribly far away. So it's a bit hilly. And here on the border with Romania, we have the Prut River. I bet you there's oxbows around here. It looks like this one's about to go oxbowy eventually. Are there any oxbows? No, but you can definitely tell by how curvy. Oh, there we go. There's an oxbow lake. Like, you can definitely tell that there will be eventually. There's an oxbow lake right next to the river. Because the river once went this way and it changed course and left a little lake there. So, yeah. Of course, Romania names its districts after its largest region. So there is Cantemir. But we're actually going to look at that in a little bit. Hold that thought, because we have to talk about history before we look at Cantemir. Because Cantemir is actually Moldova's newest city. So hold that thought. Let's check out Căușeni. I hope I'm saying that right. Căușeni. Căușeni district. Perfect. It's not the town yet, just the district. And it didn't highlight it for us, but you know what? That's okay. Because as you can see here, this is also just farmland. That's a little bit hilly. And not only does Căușeni district border Ukraine, as you can see down here, there's the Dniester River by the looks of it. It also borders Transnistria, which is over here. I think it might border a bit of Gagauzia too, maybe. I didn't double check that, but it definitely borders Transnistria. We'll talk about that a little bit in history too. Both of these regions, though, very conveniently have a very shared history, because they were both part of an ancient region known as Bessarabia. There's Cantemir over here. And there's the forest we looked at. Bessarabia. And Bessarabia, in a nutshell, was absorbed by the Russian Empire in 1812. Russia, of course, spent quite a while Russifying this region, making them speak Russian and observe Russian culture and traditions. However, the Russian Empire collapsed toward the end of World War I. In 1918, Moldova became part of Romania. Until 1940, I believe. It had to have been 1940. When it became part of the USSR. Now, if you're a regular viewer of my channel and we talk about Eastern Europe, say it with me now. It's because of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which was an agreement between Nazi Germany and the USSR up there. It's now Russia, but there's Russia. That if they were to go to war, hypothetically, what areas would they take over? But then they did wind up going to war. So they were like, you know what? That hypothetical is now a reality. We're just going to take those areas that we agreed to. So the USSR took over Romania, and therefore Moldova. The USSR, however, was not to last, and Moldova gained its independence in 1991. But there's a lot of leftovers from that Soviet period, one of them being Cantemir. Cantemir was established, I believe, in 1972. It was definitely early 1970s. As a little Soviet industrial city. So now we can look at Cantemir. And you can see just how Soviet-y it is. Soviet monument there with a Russian Orthodox cross. And we have these very characteristic big block apartment buildings. Sorry for my tummy right there, holy moly. Big blocky buildings that the Soviets really liked. And these huge, like, plazas outside of them. Cute little church there. Cantemir. I love that name. It's so good. Today it looks like a typical Moldovan town. Not glamorous. Oh, Christmas time. Sorry if you can hear my cat in their litter box in the background. 1992. It says. Yeah, Moldova is one of the more poorer countries, if not the poorest country in Europe. So, and that's not, you know, its own fault. That's due to corrupt politicians and such, oligarchs and what have you, not giving money back to the people. So most Moldovan towns look kind of like this, you know, a bit run down, nothing too glamorous, but still very like typical and homey. Every Moldovan I've spoken to through this channel have been very kind and sweet and very gracious. Shout out to my channel member Alessia. Very gracious for mentioning Moldova. And you can see these block neighborhoods. Hey, kitten! Kitty's crying because she just did a poop and she couldn't find me. There she is. Okay. Much better now. But yeah, very Soviet style neighborhood with all of the industrial areas here. And you can see all those block buildings like little whales lined up there. Very, very Soviet style housing there. What's that? Looks like a museum popped up. What is that? Let's see if it'll... Ethnographic Cantemir. Oh, this did not pop up when I was researching. Let's see if they have any pictures. Oh, that's wonderful. A museum. Here we go. We got some traditional weaving happening here. Making all of these beautiful like doilies. And whatever these are, they're really cool. Like candle holders, I think. And we can see behind these lovely people like some utensils and beautiful pillows and furniture back there. And there's some traditional weaving on this loom. That's very cool. Glad that popped up. It didn't pop up when I was looking around. Very neat. One of the other big Soviet leftovers in Moldova is Transnistria. Which doesn't pop up on here because it technically doesn't exist, but does at the same time. Can you see the border here on the Dniester? Transnistria, the other side of the Dniester. Transnistria did not want to become part of independent Moldova. They wanted to stay part of the USSR. However, the USSR ceased to exist on its own, but Transnistria refused to acknowledge that, and to this day claim that they are still part of the USSR, which is very neat, I think. You can see big Tiraspol right there, which was infuriating when I was researching Căușeni, like looking at what are some things to do, and it was like visit Tiraspol. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But let's see if we can get recentered in that district. There we go. We're over here, Căușeni. So yeah, I couldn't really find anything about this place in particular, but we'll take a look. Maybe we'll find another museum. I don't know. Let's see. Very pretty church there. Official government buildings and statues. A stork nest up there. Very cute. Yeah, look at these. An interesting statue there. Yeah. Soviets loved their memorials. I mean, at lots of places like memorials, but the Soviets were really like into building statues and such. You can see that Soviet style, brutalist style building here. I'm not gonna try. Yeah. Memorials there and such. That's a neat building. That's definitely newer. That's really cool. Wow, that looks like a fun shop. It looks like Căușeni's got some color to it, with lots of tradition. Look at this little wagon pulling flowers. I bet you could buy flowers out of that. But yeah, very Soviet. Look at the storks. Looks like there's a big stork statue up there too. Wow, there's a big at this pretty little yellow church. They're having a big service, some kind of party. I wish it wasn't cut off right there. Maybe it's a wedding, or maybe it's Easter or something. That's cool. But yeah, that is Căușeni. So if I remember, I'll link my Moldova playlist up in the corner there if you want to learn more about Moldova or see my coverage of other areas of Moldova. Yeah, I've talked about Moldova an odd amount of times for such a tiny country. But it is very fascinating, I think. See, like Transnistria is like over here. Very interesting, Moldova. But that's pretty much all that I've got for you today. I was going to say, if I do forget to link it, you can just go to my main channel page and type in Moldova in the search and the playlist will pop up. But hopefully I'll remember to include it. But thank you so much for watching. Let's see if... That's pretty much all the same pictures we just... Oh, duh, because that's the town. I want the district. There we go. Is it mostly the same? Look at this church. Wow, those onion domes are black onions. And a bit too round to be onion domes. They're more like spheres. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow's video, we will be back on my atlas with Google Earth after the fact, because we are going to Ireland. I'm always excited to talk about Ireland. We're going to see bogs. We're going to see some stone circles. You know, I love me some stone circles. We're going to see all kinds of neat stuff. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please, please give this video a little thumbs up and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. And I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good